Yo, what's up, Pisces? Welcome to your monthly forecast for the month of August 2018. Pisces, as you already know, this used to be an astrology channel, but I actually changed it to a tarot channel, and there's several reasons for that. The first reason is because of the new moon solar eclipses that are occurring this summer. So the new moon solar eclipse of July 2018 and the new moon solar eclipse of August 2018 are precipitating this new beginning in my life now. The other reason is because I have something significant that I can contribute to the tarot community. And I've discovered something with the tarot that no other tarot reader has ever done before. I've watched tons of tarot videos, I've watched tons of tarot readers, and none of them use life path numbers within the tarot. But the first 9 cards, I made this discovery, the first 9 cards of the tarot, 11 and 22, are all life path numbers, so you can identify them as people. So basically what you do is you take someone's date of birth, and I'm going to give you a numerological sequence that you can use to find their life path number, and then you can identify them as somebody who's, within the first 9 tarot cards, 11 or 22. So I'll give you an example. So if someone has the date of birth February 9th, 1979, this is how you get their life path number. So you have February, which is 2, and then you have the day, which is 9, so it'd be 2 plus 9 is 11. Then you're going to add each single digit of the year, so 1979, so it's going to be 2 plus 9 is 11, 11 plus 1 is 12, 12 plus 9 is 21, 21 plus 7 is 28, 28 plus 9 is 37, then you have 37, 3 plus 7 is 10, and then you have 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. So somebody with a date of birth, February 9th, 1979, their life path number is 1. So who's life path number 1? Well, that's the Magician. Life path number 2 is the High Priestess. Life path number 3 is the Empress. Life path number 4 is the Emperor. Life path number 5 is the Hierophant. Life path number 6 is the Lovers. Life path number 7 is the Chariot. Life path number 8 is Strength. Life path number 9 is the Hermit. Life path number 11 is Justice. Last but not least, life path number 22 is the Fool. Some decks the Fool is 0, other decks it's 22, but when this card comes out, you can always expect that it's going to be somebody with the life path number 22. And that's what's interesting about the Fool card. It's like someone might use the numerological sequence I just used in the example, and their date of birth might come together as the number 22, and they might be like, well, I don't want to be the Fool because that sounds kind of insulting. Well, it's not meant to be insulting at all. The Fool card is the card that is used to identify somebody who's the life path number 22. The Fool is actually a very rare life path number. There's not that many people who have the life path number 22, so it's usually somebody who's pretty important. And sometimes they're an artist of some sort, potentially, or they might be someone who's sort of spontaneous, and potentially they might like to travel. You see they got their travel bag right there. But like I said, I mean, the Fool card, the Fool is somebody, life path number 22 is somebody who's rare and usually pretty important, and it's not meant to be insulting at all. And, some people might feel that way about life path number 9 too. So life path number 9 is the Hermit, and some people might use the numerological sequence I gave, and they might see that their date of birth comes together as 9, and they'd be like, I don't want to be the Hermit, that sounds insulting. Once again, it's not meant to be insulting. The Hermit card identifies those who are life path number 9, and it's not like this person is literally a hermit. It's like, if you know somebody the life path number 9, they're probably somebody who just likes to do their own thing a lot. I mean, yeah, in some circumstances, maybe you're going to see a few people who are life path number 9. They might be a little bit of a shut-in here and there, but most of all, this is life path number 9, someone who just likes to do their own thing. So, it's not meant to be insulting at all. And I'm just going to give you some more, subtleties of life path numbers. It's like you see that, there's genders on the card. So it's like you look at the Emperor card, number 4. Well, just because it's a man on the card doesn't necessarily mean that it's always going to be a man. I mean, anybody who the life path, this is anybody who's life path number 4. It could be a man or a woman. It doesn't matter about the gender on the card. So that's another subtlety of it. It's anybody who has a life path number 4 is the Emperor, regardless of if they're man or woman, and that goes for any other life path number 2. And also, so there's only 2 double-digit life path numbers. There's 11 and 22. So, you know, all of the life path numbers, you're going to keep adding the digits together like the way I showed you in the example until it gets to a single digit. The only life path numbers you don't do that for is 11 and 22, okay? So that, just keep that in mind. And, you know, no other tarot readers are doing this. I mean, like I said, I've watched so many tarot videos. I made this discovery, so if you start seeing other tarot readers using this concept, then just know where they got it from. They got it from me. But that's enough of that for now, Pisces. Let's jump into your forecast for the month of August 2018. For your central energy, you have the 2 of Swords in reverse, and you know, this says that some of you are, you know, it's like a stalemate that's coming to a conclusion. So, you know, not all of you have a situation where it's like you and another party are kind of like stuck. So, you know, this might come to conclusion. So, I mean, the 2 of Swords in the reverse would suggest the stalemate coming to conclusion, but it's being crossed by the Chariot card, which would suggest, you know, if the Chariot is in a challenge position like that, it would suggest some kind of unresolved conflict. So, you know, is a stalemate really coming to a conclusion? If it's not, then this card would suggest that some of you are really being deceptive, and that is not good. So this is you being deceptive. This is you, you know, you're using trickery of some sort on somebody. So, you know, think about that, Pisces. Who in your life are you being deceptive towards, potentially, Pisces? And that is not good, because that's going to lead to this eventually. This is your card of the near future. And, you know, it's interesting because when this card is in the upright, it's a 10 of Swords. When that card's in the upright, it would suggest that you might be the one getting backstabbed, but it's in the reverse. So when it's in the reverse, that is the possibility of an inevitable end. So there might be, like, you keep doing this deception and trickery, and it might lead to this inevitable end. And, you know, it's kind of interesting because the astrology does come in here, because on July 27th, I know this is a forecast for August, but I'm going to rewind real quick to, you know, July 27th, 2018, the full moon lunar eclipse. I mean, that eclipse hits in the area for you that has to do with letting go. So depending on when you're watching this video, this is a monthly forecast for August 2018, but I just want to rewind real quick to that July 27th, 2018 lunar eclipse. It's in your sector of letting go. So, you know, like a stalemate coming to a conclusion, maybe, you know, with that lunar eclipse, potentially yes for some of you. Or the other thing, you know, potentially some of you are just, you're being deceptive, you're using trickery on somebody, and it's going to lead to an inevitable end for you, Pisces. So I'm not sure how it's going to resonate in your life, but, you know, it's interesting. This reading is sort of a mixed bag because you do have some kind of victory here, Pisces. So you have the 6 of Wands, which is, you know, suggests that, you know, just because there might be some kind of conclusion or, you know, end of a chapter of some sort in another area of your life, you might, obviously our lives are filled with more than one thing. So, you know, in some other aspect of your life, you might have a victory of some sort. Or if that's not an actual victory, then, you know, maybe the public is going to see something about you. So, you know, this could be the public seeing something about you potentially with, you know, you could be more visible to the public right here with the 6 of Wands right there. So it's either going to mean some kind of victory or, you know, potentially the public can see something about you potentially right there. It's crowning your reading. Now there's also the 8 of Wands over here, because 2 cards came out. Like, these cards would suggest, you know, what's gonna be the destiny for you for the month of August 2018. And remember, these cards are specifically for the month of August 2018. So when I say destiny, I'm saying destiny for this month. And you do have the 8 of Wands in the reverse, which suggest, you know, some kind of delay or some sort. So there are some mixed energies here. It's like maybe there is something that you guys want to move forward with, and it might not be happening in the month of August 2018. We're going to come down here to this card has to do with your distant past. And sometimes it could just be an indication of what was in the distant past. Other times, you know, depending on what your unique situation is, this might be how your distant past, energies of your distant past are coming in again in the month of August 2018. So, you know, with the Emperor card in the reverse, I mean, Pisces, that's kind of like a misuse of power. I don't know if you have some kind of power or you're in some kind of position where, you know, you do have the power and you're using it in a way that's not really right. So with the Emperor card in the reverse, that's what it would suggest. Now, if that's not the case, you know, others of you are just being a little bit like, you know, egomaniac a little bit. So when the Emperor card's in the reverse, it's like, you know, you're like too proud or something. Like you're just not willing to, like, it's just excessive pride, Pisces. And, you know, I'm going to say more specifically, you know, I'm going to jump to the life path number thing real quick here. So it's very specific to say that some Pisces have someone who's the life path number 4 in their life. If you use the numerological sequence I gave you in the beginning to take someone's date of birth in your life, you know, it might come out to life path number 4. So you might have to figure out, you know, I'm not saying all of you have somebody in your life who's life path number 4, but very specifically for some of you, the life path number 4, I mean, so there might be somebody in your life who has that life path number, or it could, very specifically, you know, some of you could have the life path number 4, and this could be you. And, you know, same with the Chariot. So, I mean, you know, some of you are life path number 7, or, you know, somehow there's somebody potentially, for a very select few of you, there's somebody in your life. This is a challenge position. There might be somebody, you know, in the month of August 2018 who, you know, they might be somewhat of a challenge and their life path number might be 7. So it's either you getting in your own way if you have the life path number 7, or, you know, potentially there's somebody else in your life who's the life path number 7, and, you know, they might be giving you sort of a challenge there. So use the numerological sequence on dates of birth who you're curious about and see if you can figure out who that is in your life potentially. And, you know, with the Chariot being in a challenge position, you know, not all of you are trying to, you know, travel, or maybe you just got back from traveling, or, you know, the Chariot would suggest something about travel. And the fact that it's in a challenge position might suggest that, you know, I'm not saying all of you are traveling, but, you know, if some of you are, you might run into a few, you know, just, I'm not going to say issues, but, you know, things might not go as smoothly as they could with travel. And, you know, that's interesting because Mercury is going to be retrograding all the way until August 19th. Throughout the month of August 2018, I mean, Mercury is going to, whenever Mercury retrograde, it does cause, you know, complications with travel. And, you know, Mercury retrogrades actually, the effects of it are just, it's longer of a cycle than people really realize. I mean, you have, you know, the 3 weeks where it's actually retrograding, but the 3 weeks before and after Mercury's retrograding is called the shadow period. So, you know, typically you're feeling the effects still of some effects of the retrograde cycle 3 weeks before and after the actual retrograde cycle. So it's in total, it's about a, you know, it could be like a 9-week transit. You know, the severity of the effects could be different at each time of the transit. But let's jump down here to the 2 of Cups you have in your recent past. And, you know, this is either energy that's going to come back in the month of, you know, retrogrades bring back the past sometimes. And I'm not saying for all of you, but, you know, I don't know, whoever's single maybe wants to get involved with someone who they used to be involved with potentially. For others of you, this is like idealizing. That's very specific what I just said. Obviously not all Pisces are, you know, trying to get involved with people who they used to be involved with. But some of you might be. So, you know, that all depends on your unique scenario. Now, if that's not the case, then, you know, others of you might be idealizing a past relationship potentially. It's kind of like, I almost look at these cards together. It's like, you know, this card, if that does suggest the inevitable end, then this might be you thinking about, oh, this, because when the 2 of Cups is in the upright position, I mean, that would suggest a happy relationship. But this is the recent past position, so it doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to be the situation in August. This just might be you thinking about the recent past, like, oh, I had a really good relationship, but now it's this. Now it's the inevitable end. And, you know, you could look at this card. When this card's upside down, you could look at it in a couple different ways. You could look at this card when it's upside down. This could also mean that, you know, some of you are, there's like regeneration. So, you know, if this card was in the upright, this would be you getting like backstabbed. But with this card in the reverse, this might be regeneration of some sort, Pisces. So some of you might be headed for a regeneration of some sort. Now, for others of you, this Nine of Pentacles right here, this would suggest that, you know, even though you have a bunch of other stuff going on, your money situation might be decent. So this would suggest, you know, money that you've built up for yourself over a long period of time, Pisces. Like, this is not money that you just earned, you know, overnight. So that's a good card to have. This is a great card to have. This is the gradual buildup of your funds. So that's a good one. And, you know, if you look at this Five of Swords in the reverse here, Five of Swords in the reverse is you're open to change. So that's good. That is really good. And, you know, I feel like that corresponds with what happens with the full moon total lunar eclipse of July 20, even though this is a reading for August 2018, the lunar eclipse, full moon total lunar eclipse of July 2007 or July 27, 2018 does have to do with, you know, some of you might have an end of a chapter, and, you know, this would suggest that you're open to change. So Five of Swords in the reverse is open to change, and that's a good card to have. You should be open to change if, you know, there is a situation, if there is a stalemate situation in your life, you should be open to change to get it resolved. And now right above that you have the Five of Cups in the upright, and, you know, that's just the card of loss, Pisces. That's a card of loss. It's like you're not losing everything completely. I mean, you could see that you still have two cups here, but these other three are knocked down, so you lost them, but you still have two. So it's not like you're completely losing something, but, you know, there's just so many things in this reading that are just going back to that lunar eclipse of July. It's July 27th, 2018. And, you know, like I said, even though this reading is for August, you know, that eclipse is the end of July, so all that energy is just coming in from that eclipse, is just coming into the month of August 2018. So I'm not saying all of you are taking a loss of some sort in the month of August 2018, but some of you might be, especially with that Five of Cups right there. And it's just amazing how, you know, these cards just sequence each other. I mean, this one just, the outcome for you, Pisces, for the month of August 2018, I mean, I'm not saying all of you are going to have a fear of the unknown, but, you know, some of you might. So that's what the Two of Wands in the reverse is, a fear of the unknown. And I know it's hard for you, like, for me to just say this like it's no big deal, but it's like, you know, this is life, Pisces. I mean, you know, there's cycles. Life is just cycles. It's like, you know, we go through things in our life, and then one cycle ends, and then another cycle begins, and it just is what it is, Pisces. I mean, I don't try to sugarcoat these readings at all. When I shuffle the cards, they come out onto the table their own, and this is the way they came out. And, you know, here we go again with that lunar eclipse at the end of July 2018. That lunar eclipse not only does have to do with, you know, potentially some of you having to close the door on a chapter, but that's also a sector that has to do with having fear. So everything's going to be fine because you have some kind of victory right here. Your money seems like it's good. You have this money right here. So there is maybe an aspect of your life that you might have some fear of the unknown about, but try to look at the positives. Victory, financial stability. For some of you, this is even luxury. So there are some good aspects to this, Pisces. And remember, these are energies for August 2018. It doesn't mean that, you know, I'm going to shuffle the cards again in September and the energies could be completely different. But, you know, I'm going to talk about astrology a little bit. I mean, August 11th, there is a new moon solar eclipse in Leo. And that for you, that has to do with, your daily life that has to do with different signs mean different things for every sign, Pisces. And for you, Leo is a sector of the sky that has to do with your daily life. It has to do with your health. It has to do with your work. So there could be something new coming in. So that's actually something to look forward to. So you have some fresh energy coming in regarding your work, regarding your daily life, regarding your health. Yeah, there might be something new about your daily life potentially, but maybe that has to do something with an inevitable end. You know, we just can't keep going on stagnant, same situation. Like, you know, things change, Pisces. It just is what it is. And you got the full moon in your sign on August 26th. You know, that suggests some kind of shift regarding matters of self. It's going to happen in your sign. So there's some kind of change of self that's going to happen, Pisces. So it could precipitate a new beginning for some of you. But I think that's all I have for this month, Pisces. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe, share, and like. I'm on Instagram as Gregory Furlan Astrology. So, you know, those of you who are big on my astrology channel, I hope you'll still subscribe to this Now Tarot channel, because you can get a lot of valuable information out of these readings. But if you want to read daily astrology, I write it every day. It's on Gregory Furlan Astrology on Instagram, so check it out there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next month.